All right, I'm here sitting with Famous Bizzle. How are you doing, Famous Bizzle?
Oh, I'm doing real good, man. How about yourself, boss man?
Oh, I mean, you don't have to ask me. I'm doing great. I asked you to sit. We just finished auditions, huh?
Yeah, auditions. I'm really excited about that too, actually, because it's a 6-week tour with a rock band, an alternative rock band. And they're doing this big 6-week tour, and they're going to be traveling all across the United States as well as Canada as well.
So 6 weeks, huh?
6 weeks, yeah.
I heard a lot of talk from a lot of the guys. Oh no, 6 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time.
I mean, it's long, but I mean, 6 weeks is gonna go like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go quick. The only thing is, it's gonna be during the holiday, so it'll be Thanksgiving to be missed. But at least
I mean, I'm sure you've read a lot of wrestling books.
Yeah,
and I'm sure in every wrestling book, no wrestler said that they were the father of the year because they were at every Christmas Day or New Year's Day or birthday or
yeah.
And it's kind of the I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Right.
I'm just saying it comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
Comes with the territory. That's just, when you sign up for wrestling school, that's one of the things I like to tell guys. Like, it takes a lot of sacrifice.
Right.
It takes it takes a lot. Giving up a lot. Just every kind of sacrifice that you could think of. That's what. Trying to become a pro wrestler. That's not even being a pro wrestler.
Right.
That's just trying to become a pro wrestler.
No, that's just to get to the level
Yeah.
of where or on a stage where you can actually become noticed.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to become noticed.
Speaking of being noticed, you've been on Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
I saw that you just came off a match last Friday night at the Crash in Tijuana.
The Crash Luchas. Yeah, I made my debut with the New Age Punisher B-Boy.
And
Shout out B-Boy.
Shout out to B-Boy there, B-Boy. We had B-Boy's a great guy. I actually got match of the year with B-Boy.
Yeah, which was
last
incredible.
year.
AWS.
Yes.
Shout out Bart.
Shout out to Bart right there.
Mm-hmm.
But also in that match, I noticed that you took a picture of about what was your cut of the fans throwing in money into the crowd, right?
Yes. You know what? It was one of those things that caught me off guard because I know for the majority of the match we were really hamming up the crowd, and we were major rudos out there. But we kind of did like a turn to where after the match, and it was actually a flag match, by the way, so to where you had to capture your flag was in your opponent's
right,
corner.
yeah.
So you have to fight your way past them and snatch your flag down and win the match.
Yeah.
So after we lost, I ended up grabbing the mic and cutting a heartfelt promo, because those, we wrestled Phoenix and Aerostar, two of our brothers from Lucha Underground. And I ended up cutting a promo and just letting the fans know that, I actually had respect for them and I wanted to win the match, obviously, for America because the next day was actually the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to let them know that I really respected them, their culture, and I also let them know that I didn't agree with what Donald Trump had to say about them.
So you faced up.
Yeah,
so you faced up, huh?
So yeah, so after the match, the combination of the match, the dynamics of all that happened with the aftermath of the match, that's when it started raining pesos, and I didn't know what was going on because I was like, wow, now are they throwing stuff at me now? But then because those coins are pretty thick,
yeah.
So then when I got hit with a couple of them, and then I kind of looked around and then the guys told me what was going on, I was like, all right, very cool. So so it threw me off. It took me by storm. But most importantly, it was very humbling, that they respected what we did and respected what we did in the ring for them. The very passionate fans, very passionate crowd, and that's actually the same venue in which, unfortunately, Pedro Aguayo passed in. So to work in that ring and go and have the match that I did and get the respect from the crowd, it was very humbling for me.
Was that your first time wrestling at the auditorium?
It wasn't. It was actually my second time.
Oh, okay.
First time was in 2012 with Rey Mysterio Sr.
That's right. Yes, we used to have the poster up in the dojo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio Sr. Which was my first time. And it was a great experience, but I gotta tell you, this one was everything that I remember plus more. The Crash does a very good job of promoting. We actually did several press conferences leading up to the event. One the day before and one earlier the day of the event. So we did that, and it was really good. It was a fun time, man, and the Crash took care of us really well, and they put a lot of love into the shows. Everything from the set, the entrances, the models in the background, and everything. You really get that feeling of what authentic lucha libre is as you're watching it on TV. You know,
Tongs is just doing a run-in right in the middle.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck your interview."
Tongs, this is the official mascot of the Santino.
Yeah, this guy right here.
This is Mr. Donkey. Everybody knows who Donkey
yeah,
is.
if you've been to Santino Brothers Wrestling, you either heard about the Donks, or you've seen the Donks, or he's yelled at you, barked at you, or.
And my favorite memory of Donks on social media, at least, is the Thanksgiving picture. Where it's
thanks. We've had that picture for years.
Yeah, but that's Donks right there.
Yeah, we didn't alter that picture besides just kind of cut him out. But yeah, we had him. He was just staring at that turkey and
licking his chops, right? Dude, he wasn't looking at it.
Yeah, we'll have to post it up.
Yeah,
But I actually have a really cool story about the Auditorio. We're talking about the Auditorio. Famous B just wrestled there last Friday night, July 3rd, and he had such a great match that the fans, in honor of respect, they threw money into the ring to show their gratitude and appreciation for the match, to let the wrestlers know that not only did you entertain us, but you entertained us so much that I want to give you my portion of gratitude.
Oh man, absolutely.
And my story of the auditorium is when I actually went down to the Auditorio to get booked, and I actually went down, and I was so green that I didn't even bring my gear. I kind of thought, oh, it's one of those things you're just gonna go down and talk to somebody and something like that.
Right.
And,
maybe in hopes of getting
getting a phone number, getting a booking, getting something going. You know,
for the future though. He wasn't thinking about that point in time.
Yeah, and so Juventud was supposed to show up, and he didn't show up.
Juice.
He was in the main event. It was Juventud Guerrera and Negro Casas versus Psychosis and El Santo.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, my buddies Halloween and Damien were there. And Juventud didn't show up, and it's like intermission, and I'm sitting in the crowd just watching the match, and all of a sudden, some guy comes from the back, and they say they want you to come to the back. Wow. So Halloween's calling you to the back, and I go, what's going on? So I went to the back, and Halloween said, hey, Juventud didn't show up, and I told the booker that we wrestled on XPW together, and XPW was hot at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we wrestled XPW together, and this guy can take his place. And he goes, I pitched that to the promoter, and he goes, do you want to do it? And I go, oh, hell yeah. And then I said, but I don't have no gear, man. So I got the gig, and I had to borrow, I think, like Ricky Marvin's tights. I had to borrow one dude's sweaty knee pad, another dude's sweaty knee pad, and put my gear on. And actually, the craziest part about it was, we were there early throughout the day. Like, we got there really early and just talked to a lot of the wrestlers, talked to the promoter and stuff like that. And then when they opened the doors, they actually kicked everybody out, and they kicked me out. And I guess in the States, you or even, when you're known a little bit more, you get treated with more respect.
Right.
So they kicked me out, and it was like, well, if you want to get back in, you're going to have to pay to get in.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to pay to get in. Fast forward to intermission, they're asking me, hey, do you we need someone to wrestle in the main event. So they come and get me. So I paid to get in, and then ended up wrestling in the main event against Santos. And it was Santos and Negro Casas, but I was like such a Nitro mark, and I was such a Psychosis mark, that I was just like, I can't believe I'm in the ring with Psychosis.
Right.
And I knew the dude from XPW, and then like, to think about it now, like Psychosis is awesome, and he's always going to have a special place in my heart, but I was actually in there with two other legends, You know what I mean? And I
Right.
was just like, whatever on those guys. I'm in there with psychosis. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, F these guys.
Right.
But
right.
it was a great experience wrestling with Negro Casas. Just kind of really getting thrown in there. And I remember Santos didn't want to have anything to do with me. Yeah, he didn't want to
Just
wrestle
a little leery, right?
Yeah. I mean, one of those things. This guy's gonna hurt me, or this guy.
Right.
Yeah, this, that, the other.
Right.
So,
but that's an incredible full circle story. I mean,
yeah,
the experience of a professional wrestler and the experience of a fan. You had both those experiences all in one day. You know, you pretty much came full circle.
Yeah.
All in one day, man. That is incredible. You paid to get in and ended up wrestling in the main event.
In the main event. So.
Wow. That's an incredible story. The Auditorio is definitely one of those places that no matter how far you go in professional wrestling, you know, everything just kind of, you know, everyone can kind of share their memories of what the Auditorio was like or have came across it, whether they worked in the venue frequently or once or twice or, you know, whatever the case may be. But I think the Auditorio holds a special place in obviously in Lucha Libre, but I think in wrestling in general.
Oh, I mean, definitely, it definitely does, and it's almost like, imagine if it became a church. And that's what happened to all of us in Los Angeles with the Grand Olympic Auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
It's a church. I guess you can go there every Sunday and probably see I would love to go in there and see the Grand Olympic.
Check it out. Speaking of churches, actually just wrestled in a church a couple of weeks ago.
Where?
Fighting for Fatherhood. It was a church
we
actually did for Big Rick. For a Big Rick.
Who ran that show? Did he run the show?
He ran the show.
Oh,
he
really?
Ran the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. His church put on the show, and they set the ring up exactly in the middle of the church.
So it's pretty good, huh?
It was very good. It was very interesting.
Nice. I was wondering who's running that show.
Yeah, no, that was actually Big Rick's thing.
Yeah, I met him at Lucha Underground.
Right, he's a very
really good
guy.
Yeah,
very cool guy. But he runs his own promotion, so to speak, but he does it for his church.
Yeah.
So it usually ends up being fundraisers and things of that nature. So I did one actually in Washington for him, Yakima. That's the name of the city.
Oh, really?
I was trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
A couple of months ago, and then a couple of weeks ago, we wrestled in the church. But the Yakima show wasn't in the church, but this one was right in the middle of the church, so it kind of blew my mind.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So B, we're closing it up. What do you got coming up? What's coming up for Famous B?
Oh man, just a lot of traveling. You know, I've been putting my resume in for you know, outside places, and other states and other countries. Obviously, everybody is holding tight and waiting to see what happens with Lucha Underground in season 2. As right now, we're in between seasons. So in a couple of weeks, Ultima Lucha will be on El Rey Network August 5th, which is actually going to be a 2-hour special.
That's Lucha Underground, right?
That's Lucha Underground.
Okay.
Lucha Underground, yeah. Lucha Underground, yeah. So, you know, and obviously we did the wrap on Lucha Underground a couple months ago. Yeah, about a couple months ago. Which it's going to air soon within a couple of weeks. And then in the meantime of that, we're all just waiting to see if or when season 2 is going to happen.
So it's still. I was kind of under the assumption that it was a go for season 2. So it's still kind of up in the air right now.
It's still up in the air. There was definitely positive vibes the last weekend of tapings.
Yeah.
It was very, you know, it was a lot of optimism between the locker room and the production staff that we were going forward with the season 2, but nothing has been confirmed.
Yeah.
So I'm just like all the guys, all the fans out there that's checking the blogs and the dirt sheets and the news and the tabloids every day, just waiting to see if and when we're gonna hear something. So definitely looking forward to that. And like I said, just traveling, getting myself out there more, reaching more markets, more places and things like that. Places, definitely getting in places who haven't seen me, haven't seen Famous B live, you know. So trying to get back on the East Coast a lot and overseas and maybe do a tour of Europe or a tour of Japan. It's my goal to have something locked in by the end of this year for either next year, or if I could get something at the end of this year, then I'll be ready to go. But like I said, though, looking forward to hopefully touring and doing a little bit of lucha libre on the road with the rock band. So if that goes through and everything goes well, then there it is. It goes hand in hand. It ties in my goals with a little bit of music.
That'll be great. You know, I'm always rooting for you.
Absolutely,
you know,
man.
so I'm definitely rooting for you, and wishing for the best. Where can people find you? Where can people reach out to you, talk to you, find you for some bookings?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My email, famousb@santinobros.net, is my immediate email. Also on Facebook, Famous B Brian. I have the official Famous B fan page. You can also check out a lot of my matches on YouTube. My username is FamousB23. Twitter, of course, also username FamousB23 is my handle. So I'm out there. Google Famous B.
Thank you, Famous B. It's great having
Thank
you here. Make sure to check us out, SantinoBros.net. You could find this video and definitely a bunch of other videos, a bunch of other interviews at our official YouTube channel. That's Mongol Santino /YouTube. So definitely check it out.